Watch this guide to get better at Maokai. I'm a challenger player who plays a lot of Maokai, and I'll teach you the things I know. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the runes. Maokai is a little bit different than a lot of other champs. You got multiple options. So you can start out by going Resolve. The first rune you want to look at is Grasp of the Undying and Aftershock. Both of these runes are very good. Grasp is good if you're able to stack up Grasp and get that 5 health consistently in trades during the laning phase. It's by far the best rune if you can prog it, but there will be some matchups where you can't use the Grasp due to you being against a ranged champion or somebody else where you just can't prog it against him. And in those cases you want to go Aftershock. Second one, you want to go Font of Life or Demolish. Mostly you'll go Font of Life, it actually helps you out a little bit more. But there will be a few situations where you might be stronger than an opponent in the laning phase, and then you can go Demolish because you're going to be able to benefit from that. Or if you're against the Shen, for example, because he leaves the lane a lot, and you can take his tower and he leaves the lane. After Demolish and Font of Life, you want to look for Bone Plating or Second Wind. Both of these are extremely good. Personally, I opt in for Bone Plating most of the time because you're very tanky, you have healing automatically in your passive, you already have a lot of healing, and you don't fight that often as Maokai. So every time you walk up, you should be able to proc Bone Plating, or most of the time at least. So that one is my preferred one, but you can also go Second Wind. And now in the last one, we're going for Overgrowth. I just think it's the best one. You could also go for Revitalize, but I prefer Overgrowth. I think it's superior. In the second tree, we go Sorcery, the Mana Flow Band, and Transcendence. These two runes are really good for Maokai, especially Mana Flow Band, because you need a lot of mana. Now you also have the small runes. So in the small runes, I recommend Attack Speed. Attack Speed is extremely strong in Maokai, and you need it to proc your passive, right? So it's really useful. Then you go for the Adaptive Force, and last you can go for any of the things, depending on what you do. If you don't trade much, you can just go Health. If you do fight a lot, then take Armor or Matrices, depending on what kind of damage source the enemy have. Alright, so next we're getting into item builds. So the Maokai item build to begin with is very straightforward. You go for Sunfire Cape almost all the time, and then the second item is going to be a little bit different, and it's a little bit difficult. So you have the option of go Bramble Vest because you want anti-healing. You can go Spirit Visage if the enemy team have a lot of magic damage, but you don't have that much magic damage on your team and you need more healing and survival, then you need damage. Now if you do need damage, then you want to go for Abyssal Mask, which helps your team do damage as well because it increases the magic damage to nearby enemy champions by 15%, which is quite a lot. Now we get into the next item, and as a tank you have to think about what is the enemy team come and what do I want to protect myself against. If they have a lot of crit damage, you want to go Rainlands. It's the best item by far. If they don't have that much crit, you can just finish the Thornmail if you had opted in for the anti-healing item, Bramble Vest. And if they're full magic damage, you can also go for Spirit Visage and Abyssal Mask, so you have both of them, right? It all depends. Also, one item that I want to mention, if you don't need any of the above items, you can go Gargoyle Stoneplate. It's very strong. It's very good for you. It is an option. So look out for it, buy it if you don't have anything else you need, but in most situations you'll need other items and prefer to go for different things. Now let's briefly talk about the abilities so everybody knows what to do. The passive, it heals you if there's a long cooldown on it, but when you auto attack something, it heals you if it's off cooldown. Then we have his Q. His Q is a CC ability that CCs people very close to you by knocking them a little bit back. It also slows people when you hit them, and it does a small amount of damage both in front of you, but also behind you. The W, you jump to somebody and then you root them and then you do a little bit of damage, they can't move. And you can also go to people that dash you, so this is actually really dangerous to use, you have to be careful about it. The E is the sapling toss, you throw saplings to do a tiny bit of damage. If you throw them into bushes, they get much stronger and they do a lot more damage. It's double, so that's a ton. And then we have Maokai's ultimate, it's 5 branches coming out. They slowly go towards the enemies and then increase in speed over time. Once it hits the enemy, it roots them depending on how long the brambles have traveled. So if they travel full distance, it's 2.6 seconds. But if they just, like if you W onto them and ultimate instantly, then it's only 0.8 seconds. So you want to see if you can use it for a long distance, if possible. Now we get to the skill order. So on Maokai, you want to skill Q first. Afterwards you skill W because it benefits it on the cooldown. And last you skill E because there's not that much of a difference when you level it up. Alright boys, let's talk a little bit about Maokai's combos. So there's some really important things to know about his abilities first and foremost. When you Q, it hits behind you as well. That's really huge and it's important to know. Because you can actually hit multiple people by doing that. And it just increases everything a lot. Generally what you want to do in the laning phase when you're trading is you put your saplings into the bush, here. Then you have an enemy around here possibly. You jump onto them and then you Q them towards the bush. The sapling goes towards them and that's how you do the normal trading combo in the laning phase. This is generally how you get the most amount of damage. Second way you want to trade in the laning phase is you go up, you want to try and last it, then you Q the enemies every single time. And you always want to auto attack before you Q because often you have your passive ready. When you have your passive ready, you want to use that. So try and go up, auto Q. Auto Q, like that's just how the training pattern goes. Now the most important thing to know is the 2 ways to use ultimate is generally you W ultimate instantly like that and then you Q afterwards. Because then you get the optimal amount of CC for a fast combo. But mostly what you want to do, if you can, is long ultimates. But often that's just not possible because people outrun it. So what you can do, for example, if you're ganking mid lane, is you check the range. You have the range indicator up. And then what you want to do is you want to remove the escape patterns. So if I use it here, let's say the enemy is around here and he's being pushed on the turret, then I can use it like that, run behind him, and this one's going to increase in speed over time so it gets to him. And he can't really run because there's this entire distance here. So try and use the ultimate to block people off if you want it to be a long duration. And if you can block people off, then use the short duration and just W ultimate. And then do you the Q. It's the optimal way to do it, and you want to do it that way. Because else you're just going to miss. And a lot of Maokai players who start playing Maokai, they'll realize they W onto somebody, then they Q, and then they start ultimating, and the enemy flashes and starts running away, and the ultimate never hits them. Anyways, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, tell us what you thought of it, and tell us which champion you guys want to see next. Peace, boys.